Hey you guys, this is Nick back again with the Journey of Spiritual Enlightenment. I finished the video about for the brokenhearted my coffee cup message, and God was just basically telling me, he was like, it's not over. And I was like, okay God, he was like, it's not over, there's more that I want to say. So as I had got off, and there were cards that were sitting over here in my pile, and God was telling me, no, it's time for you to turn the screen back on and finish delivering the rest of my message. And it's okay, God, I will deliver the rest of your message. And we stopped off here about banishing the mirror. This is about breaking free from life, breaking free, busting free, letting go of this ego. But then the banishing mirror, it says ego, sub limitations. And then here, the stranger, the curiosity. And this card came out was Me Talks. It talks about preparing the body, mind, and spirit. Under the magician's sword, basically, you having confidence in your magic. And I'm just going to be real with you guys. I have not read these cards. I don't know exactly what these cards are about, but I just know that this is a message that, this is what a message what Spirit wants me to get out. I do know this card here. This card came out in meditation. This is about a little girl or a person who was lost, and they were abandoned, and they were. I'm emotional right now, you guys. But this girl, she was abandoned, or this male, female, how you take it, however you want to partake it. But this person was abandoned, and they were left alone, and they had nowhere to go. And the only way that they could turn to, they turned to the roots. They turned to the roots. And the roots are like the ancestors, the trees. Some people are tree huggers. And it says the disowned self. Like, this person has really, like, you may be an adult now, but there's an inner child in you that feels disowned, that feels abandoned because of what people have told this child or told you in the past. And it's left this child feeling abandoned and alone, and she has nowhere to go. And she's basically like a homeless person, a nomad who's just running around looking for a place to belong. And I feel like there's a lot of us that are looking for a place to belong, and we're looking for our tribe. We're looking for, someone to accept us and to love us. And I feel like, it's just this loneliness and this sadness that is really going on. And I don't know what it is, it's something with the moon or whatever, but it's just bringing out all these emotions and things that the Spirit is really just pouring out of me. And it's like, okay, it feels like you really need to get this out. And a lot of times, we want to sit on the word or wait on the word, but sometimes I feel like it's best to give this word when we could give it raw, and we could give it just how it is. People get on here, we hear people talk, and they're, and that, this is not for nobody, but they have their words so eloquently spoken, and they have it down packed. But sometimes we just want to talk to someone, and we want it to just be real. We don't want it to be edited. We want it to be, okay, tell me exactly how it is, because let me feel your story. Let me feel your pain, And my story, and as I tell people, and I told some people, my friends and family, but I'll share with you. And I don't know why, but I'm sharing this. But as a little girl, my mother, she would always, she was so busy on doing her own thing, and I would pretty much be at my grandmother's house, and me and my brother, and we would stay there. But there were times at night, and I'm saying the daytimes was fun at my grandmother's house. I had the best of the best time. But there were times at night when, as I put it, the devil would come in and attack, me, a little girl. I remember I was in kindergarten. And the devil would come in to attack, but there was a certain person, I don't want to say names, but who would come in and they would have sex with me, every night. And here I am, 7 years old, And I'm, don't know what sex is, don't know what love is, but I was being, abused. I was being molested. And I went through my whole life, my whole life, 21 years of age. I was 21, never told anybody, was so afraid. I saw this little thing on TV that says, if you ever been abused or hurt, speak up and tell someone. And the only words I could get out of my mouth was, I remember it was at my grandmother's house, and my grandmother's significant other, I wanted to tell him, and all I could get was, I couldn't get the words out of my mouth. But I was so encapsulated in fear that I just could not get these words out. And, so I lived this life of at the age of 14, I ran away from home, and I, it went out and I got pregnant, and people saw me as, oh, she's a bad girl, or she's this child. And nobody never really knew that this is what I was going through, but then it led me into getting into a relationship where I was being abused or I was being treated wrong, and it was a cycle of relationships. And from, here I am at the age of 18, and I'm on my fourth child, I'm on my fourth child at the age of 18. Not really being able to tell anyone. So one day me and my mother got into it, and it was like I was enraged, and she was just wondering why was I like this to her? Why was I so hateful to her? And I broke down and I said, because you were never there. Because you were never there. And she said, what do you mean? It's just I said, no, you were never there when that, excuse my speaking, I said, you were never there when that motherfucker was raping me. You were never there when that motherfucker was molesting me, having sex with me. You were never there. I said, where were you? And she said, what are you talking about? And I just told her, and she just stopped. I mean, we was in the room, and we was really like brawling. And she stopped what she was doing. She stopped me. She just came on me. She just gave me a hug, and she just held me, and she cried. And she cried. And I cried. We cried together, but it was healing. And I feel like that this is what this root girl is. Like, she's had so much pain, but she's not able to get it out to tell anybody. And she's alone, and she feels like that there's no one there to listen to her. And I feel like this is what God wants us to heal, because a lot of the stuff that is going on is spiritual. And that's why I keep telling you, it's spiritual. We don't know what it is, but it's spiritual because we're holding on to something that God wants to heal us from. God doesn't want us to continue to, or spirit or the divine, higher white light, Isis, Buddha, whatever you got. They don't want us to hold on to this. They want us to be free, our ancestors. So let me read you a little bit about this. But it says, disowned self, hidden beauty, the need for acceptance and love. The root girl sits shivering, unclean, and naked at the base of a tree of the self. She is unloved, unwanted, shunned, and shunned for her deformalities. She has no home, but is safe, buried underground to dwell near the deepest fruits of the sacred tree. Who is she? Could this I don't know what this is, unchurned be the one part of you that is reintegrated, can lead you to the wholeness of in true purpose? This is a part of you, the embodied of the deeply flawed perception of your failures, manifesting as guilt and shame. When you project envy into others and any emotions or instinct that you've learned to repress or deem unnatural, it's this homeless child self-crying for attention, acceptance, and love that you want to lash out, ignore it, or push it aside. all while refusing to acknowledge this ugly quality as belonging to you. But if you would only look into the root girl's eyes and see the beauty and the unmet need, your unmet need, as you will realize that this is part of you. As for your compassion and understanding, this is a part you was born when you were wounded and you were conditioned to believe you're not whole, that your expression of self is somehow too much or too little. You may have inherited this creature from your ancestors. However, it was this child's self that came curled up at the roots of the sacred tree self. It's time to welcome her in your heart. When you do, everything you've been searching for becomes illuminated and your path lights up and renewed with purpose. When you come to love the root girl and claim her as your own, accepting her and your humility, she is transformed just as you are. In all manners, magic begins to arrive in the abundance forms. Look for beauty. So you guys, we hold this shame because we don't want people to know that our ancestors or someone we love has hurt us, or someone has did this to us, or they did incest to us, or we were done a certain way. So we try to hold this inside and we keep this in, and this leads to the ego. This leads to us holding on to something, but it's time for us to break free. It's time for us to be free from this. It's time for us to let go of what a stranger told us. You're not good enough. You're not good enough. You're not worthy enough. Oh, you're dirty. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. All these insecurities that they have come to tell us and make us hold and suppress deep in our subliminal of what they want to project on us. And it's time for us to take the projection that they have projected on us, and it's time for us to give it back. I'm going to look for the stranger, the vanishing mirror, but it's time for us to give it back. Spirit doesn't want us to hold that image anymore. Spirit doesn't want us to keep it encapsulated into us. And I feel like there are even men who suppress and hold things that have been done to them that are so shameful. And it's not our fault, it's the other person's fault. But we somehow feel like that we have to take that guilt and we have to hold that for ourselves. But this says ego, sublimitation, letting go of self-centeredness, becoming a vessel of possibilities. This is what we do. Because of judgment. We're afraid of judgment with fear. The self-righteousness, overconfidence are only some of the traits that keep you from evolving. So it says, let me look at this again. This here is okay. But over there, well, that might be too risky. So some of us are too afraid to let go because we're playing what's safe, because we feel like it's okay over here. It's okay to stay in this bubble. It's okay to keep this stuff hidden because it's safe here. Because if we move over here, it's too risky. There's too much. We're going to be judged. We're afraid of being judged. Fear, how people are going to look at us, or how people are going to think or see us. And so sometimes, it's time for us to let go of the conditioning that we have in our own mind. Let go of how statistics and how people see us and how they think. They see us sometimes as, oh, we're bad or we're troublemakers. But that's not the truth. The truth is we've been hurt. We've been broken. And deep down inside, we've held it in. And this that we held in, we've only let out the alter ego, which is the bad, because we're not embracing what happened to us. We're making ourselves the victim. We're making ourselves guilty. And we're putting ourselves in shame. So therefore, we're living a lie and not living in the truth. So it's time for us to break free from that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not reading this whole thing, but it says, you know, when you do, you go nowhere. When you hesitate to move out of your comfort zone, and when you focus too much on yourself of this way, you become a servant to your ego. It edges God out. You push God out. You're removing the magic of the possibilities, you know. Imagine if you looked into the mirror and you saw only what you are now. You know, if you can let your self-definition soften and move beyond the veil to see the potential and a magical emptiness exist where all things are possible. Look again. Who could you be? What would you see reflected to allow yourself to be the other? To be other than how you define yourself now. Nothing is required for you to do now, but just to let go of who you think you are and allow a new you to emerge. You will recognize yourself as what you are, a partner in co-creation, in service to the divine. Doesn't that feel good? Because this stranger, this curiosity has come to tell you something that's been a lie. You know, there was this person I did a reading for, and I was talking to, and basically it was really harsh to this person. I didn't know why, but I just told this person, what you were told was a fucking lie. And I'm going to say it just like that. This is what the Spirit said. It was a fucking lie. It was a lie from the pit of hell. And you were told a lie and you will believe to this lie, but it was not true. It's a lie from the pit of hell. And I feel like there's been some strangers. There's been something that came to told you. The other, moving past the fear of indifference, the curiosity and acceptance. The stranger moves through the world in a shroud of darkness that often elects fear, rejection, uncertainty, as the danger of the unknown defines your very presence. Yes, there is a veil of separation between you. Look closer and summon the courage to remain open to what you might find. You may be conditioned to look only for what mirrors what is safe, what is known to you, refusing to entertain only the concept of others beyond something to fear. In order to broaden the world, your world, and your experience of it, you must refute the illusion, and the sameness is only the way. Nothing you expect externally matches up to the other. You're challenged by your own inexperience. But don't miss the opportunity of learning. Something extraordinary is being offered to you if you remain curious and teachable. Allow the newness to envelope you and explore the possibilities. This is a departure from your expectation, but the stranger has come to invite you to dance to a new music, a new tempo, a new sensation that will add dimensions to you where you can create as a result. Now is the time to leave room for others' points of view, others' ways of seeing the humility and grace. This is the defining moment. Take a risk. Life is like a precious diamond. So what people have told you in the past strangers, loved ones, what they told you, what they lied to you. It's time for you to let that go. It's time for you to take a risk and move forward. It's time for you to detox, guys. It's time for us to cleanse. It's time for us to be healed and be transformed. Detox. Spiritual baths. Spiritual cleansing. When I look at this here, and I always see the pink. But to me, this is like we got this pink moon. It's a time to wash this stuff away. It's time to cleanse. I'm so emotional right now, guys. I'm trying not to really be emotional, but I am. And it's just because I feel like what I'm reading this for, Spirit wants me to get this out. But I know this is for me too, Eliminating toxic thinking. Preparing the body, mind, and spirit. Cleansing house. When Me Talk card appears, it challenges you to discard the deep, dearly held judgments that have passed over yourselves and others. Release people who you feel wronged or offended you. Recognize that they mirrored the shadow aspects of your own soul. Yes, it is a tough pill to swallow. It is a tough pill to swallow. That's why it's so painful right now for me to push this message out. But since only then you can call from your life the toxic people you have allowed into your circle. It's a time for cleansing of your proverbial house. Get rid of the thoughts and the personal judgment poisoning your mind. Eliminate the inauthentic beliefs of others you adopted as your own. So before your mind makes you sick. Because I said this is going to poison you. This is going to poison you if you don't. And empty your literal cupboards of unhealthy junk food poisoning your body. So some people need to change how you eat. Fast for a day or skip a meal to allow your body to cleanse itself and rid yourself of toxins. Detox appears as a warning that you can no longer postpone the self-care, pampering you long for. It's time now. Do healthy maintenance of your body before you have to make repairs that you'll never quite recover from. Detox has come to caution you that it is not too late, but you are at the 11th hour. Do not deprive yourself of the health you deserve. This is spiritual health, physical health, mental health. You guys, and I'm not a doctor, or anything. I did go to school for, medical stuff like that, but I'm not a doctor. So you guys, if you're having problems mentally, physically, or whatever, do seek professional help. But also to a spirit is telling you something, listen to your spirit, listen to your body, because it's trying to get you to get out of this toxicity. And I think what it is, it's a toxicity in your mind, because there's this inner child, this inner pain that needs to be healed, you guys. Because the magician's sword, we think of a sword, it's come to clear stuff out, it's come to cut, it's come to break us free, it's come to give us clarity, to give us hope. The Ace of Swords, we're moving in a new beginning with a clear path, a clear way. This is what I think of when I think of the swords here. So let's see what 37 says, and we'll be through, guys. Confidence in your magic. Nothing can stop you. The beauty you seek. The magician's sword appears. You are called to cut the cords that bind you to the old, the thoughts, form, and beliefs, or friends who are not true. The magic of the magician's sword. Nothing can stop you, hurt you, or turn you away from the beauty you seek or the goal you desire with your heart. The sword is a tool, not a weapon. So make sure that you wield it wisely for the greater good. Find the stuck place where you are kept tethered to a toxic person, a particular location, or a faulty thought or belief. Let the blade do its magic. You have a large endowment of magic available to you when you believe in miracles. But don't look to the heavens to grant you the wish. Look within. Use the magic sword to cut through the limiting beliefs, and remember that all beliefs are limiting. Focus on your intuition in order to create that you wish. You have all the tools you need for the task at hand. You need only to muster the wherewithal. I don't know what that is. That's a wherewithal to deploy the resources you have. When the magic swords appears, it's time to get going. This is not a tool for completion, for gazing. Oh no, this is not a tool for contemplation, for gazing at finely polished edge. It is an instrument calling for decisive action. And remember, the sword is alive with a wisdom you can summon to help to find the best course of action. Do not hesitate. Do not hesitate. Act. I don't know if this cut off because my battery is really low, you guys, so I'm going to have to charge. I got my charger right here. Hold on a second. So hopefully that did not cut out. If it did, I do apologize. I got to take this. So I do apologize. Look, you guys, God is really talking to us, and God really wants us to heal. God wants us to move forward into our dreams, move forward into everything that he has for us, because I feel like there's something really beautiful. There's something amazing that God is working on our behalf. And God is just letting us know that this has been our problem. You know, our problem has been us. It's time for us to heal. So I'm looking here, go within the force. So yeah, you know, do not fall asleep. It says, do not fall asleep. Take your quiet, awakeful nature into the stillness, and know that you are replenishing your life source. Trust that deeply buried seeds inside your soul, the ones you planted even before you were born, are stirring softly, ready to awaken with the spring. Do not try to rouse them early. Instead, surrender to the quiet of the winter's dream. The winter's dream can lure you into a slumber where you can lose consciousness and be caught in a nightmare. Awaken, it says. Find that easy to return to the wakefulness that brings you clarity. This is a time to set your priorities in order, yet not act on any of them. Allow the clarity and transparency to come with the winter's dream, to permeate your heart and soul. This is a time for action that will come later. Remember that all things are born of dreams, and your task is to wake up within the dream, to lucidly guide it to the chosen destination. So you guys, it's time to wake up. It's time to fight. It's time to fight in the spirit and know that what's going on in the physical realm, there are things going on in the spiritual realm, and God wants us to wake up and to heal. To heal. Wake up, wake up, wake up. This is Nikki with the Journey of Spiritual Enlightenment, you guys. I hope this video has been helpful to you. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will talk to you guys again. Bye-bye.